Good afternoon. I've got a little free time today, so I'm going to mess with the fuel cell sending unit situation, see if we can figure out a way to get electricity, get gasoline from the tank up to the engine on Spanish Jeep and be able to start it one of these days. So the story behind this tank is this is actually a off-the-shelf fuel cell. Can't remember the brand name. A friend of mine gave it to me. He does some pretty nice aluminum welding, which is great to have a friend that knows how to do that, because I don't. But he put a new plate of aluminum on top here for me so that I can use this factory sending unit from Elijah in it. But we still got a few things to change. We got to get this in the tank, and I need to get the pickup. See how well you can see this from over there. But this is where the little pump in the sock sits, is right here. And I would like to get that closer to the bottom of the tank. I'm not too worried about the return. It can kind of splash all over. But I want the pickup. I'd like to have it sitting almost on the bottom if I can. So we're going to figure out how to do that next. I already kind of got started a little bit. I obviously took the fuel pump out. Let's see what we can do. So there's a little bracket here that the pump itself mounts on, and then a piece of rubber hose goes from the pump to right here. Then of course, woohoo, up to the engine, and this is tells you if you got gas in your tank or not. It floats in the fuel, and you know, if your sending unit is doing right and your gauge is working right, then you know if you got gas in your tank or not. I'm afraid what we're going to have is like really full tank, really full tank, really full tank, and it's going to get, you know, I don't know. We'll see. Doesn't really matter. I mean, it'd be nice, but it doesn't really matter. So, see how well I can bring you in on this using the old front camera action here. So, we'll come on down. Pause. Okay. So, first idea is to simply take this bracket off and see if we can, because that's as low as it'll go. And this is the bottom right here of the fuel pump where it'll sit. So I want to get it about a ½ inch lower to an inch. So my first idea is this spot right here. See if we can't put this here and how we can then lock the pump back down. So we'll take this nut off. Doesn't look like there's anything to do here. We've got a little spot that pokes up there. You know what? Let's get this out of the way before we end up breaking it. That should just snap out of there. It's just held on with some clip here. Don't break it. 20-something-year-old plastic. There we go. And I didn't break it. How fortunate. Okay. All right. So let's see here if we can do this without having to get power tools out. Probably going to have to really get that flat. I don't think I'm strong enough to... Oh, I was. How about that? All right, let's get a hammer. Let's get out the little pecker. And I need a block of wood. There's a block of wood. Yep. That's a nice big block of wood. That will set here. Oh, got a phone call coming. Okay, that's handled. So, got a big block of wood, and what I'm going to do is try to pound that nice and flat. That was easy. Yeah, a little pecker can make things happen. Doesn't have to be a big one every time. Alright, so now let's go ahead and we'll bolt that. See, that's where it was. If I put it here, that gets me down pretty low. Let's put this on and see what that looks like. Alright. Tighten that up so it doesn't move. Oh, wrong way. 50-50 chance. There we go. Okay, that's not ideal, but we'll live with it for now. This is just a test fit. I'm going to set it in the tank and see if we can see how that looks. Now you can kind of see that we still got some space to go there, so we're going to figure out a way to make it even longer. Alright, so I think what we can do next is just go ahead and we can drill a hole right here for this stud to come through, and that's going to get us down another 1/4 of an inch. So we've come from here to here, which looks like 3/4 of an inch ish. Another 1/4 of an inch. We can drop it about an inch, maybe a little bit more. Let's go for it. Alright, so it's going to be kind of hard to hold this in place, and I don't want to break nothing. I'm going to screw it down to my wooden block. Okay, there, that'll work nicely. So, you can see what we're doing here. Oh, you can't see anything what we're doing here. Alright, so we're basically, right there is what we want to put a hole. So we'll just punch ourselves a little starting spot. Does that look like it's in line there? Sure. Good enough for me. Good enough for you? Probably. I mean, I'm sure you guys are like, right on, get it, bro. All right, we did it. We made a hole. It's amazing how well that works. All right, we got a new hole right here. Let's take a look-see. That drops it down a lot. That might actually be too much. Well, if it is, we're gonna just do something. We'll just keep doing things till we've done it. Let's snug it down. Okay, that's there. Now let's drop it inside the tank and see if this is sitting on the bottom. We want it really close to the bottom, but not sitting on the bottom. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. That's still like the thickness of this finger off the bottom. I think we're just going to have to live with that. Alright, so a couple of things here I got to do. I got to get a new piece of hose right here because it is just barely reaching in between, but it's good enough for right now. I'm trying to figure out how to set this up. Now we just need to hook the power wire and the ground back up, and I think we got enough length in them. We'll just reroute them and they'll line right up. Let's see. Alright, well that was simple enough. This definitely needs to come over here though. And is. Oh, so close. You know what, let's just bend this towards it. Electricity don't know the difference, does it? There. Now we can just drop that on there. Say that. Here we go. Okay, so we got our ground back on it, and now it's bent back up. The positive to the pump's hooked up. Got to get a longer hose. So we're gonna take one more test. All right, that looks nice. It's sitting pretty close to the bottom. Let's just send you guys for a real quick look-see. I'm not sure if you can see that because I can't see in there with my hand. Yeah, I think that's going to work. All right, well, the next thing we got to overcome here is the fact that we pre-drilled some holes in the top of this based off of the original rubber gasket. But we had some good old cold weather here in Alabama, and the gasket shrunk quite a bit, so my holes aren't in the right place. So dumb, but we do dumb things, and that's okay. We overcome them. We're overcomers. So we're going to line this up and make new holes. Something like this. So real scientific process going on here of make sure no holes are showing through the holes, if that makes sense to you. And then we are going to use a Sharpie and we're going to mark all of these. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's going to work nicely. I don't see any reason, kind of close right there, but alright, so since I've made lots of dots and they're all blue, I now need to do like something like that. Oh, my phone's ringing again. Alright, we're back at it. You guys didn't realize how long I was gone. Seems like just moments. But look at all them dots. Isn't that confusing? So the ones we're going to use and drill new holes and tap them are the holes that have little tiny dots around them. So like this one and that one and rest around there. And then we may even add some new holes to the flange because these guys are pretty close to the hole. So I'm kind of thinking about making a new hole somewhere here, here, here in the flange itself and the lid to just really don't want this to leak. That would stink. Well, got to do something first. There's always something to do before something else. The tip of this is blunt. You can't really see it, but it's not going to make a good divot in that aluminum to help us line up what we're going to drill. So we're going to sharpen our center punch. My trick is put it in the drill, so it's spinning in the drill, and then the angle grinder is spinning clamped in the vise, and you just hold it up against it, and then it makes a nice sharp point. Here, you'll get the idea. And now, ooh, where's the camera? Oh, it doesn't focus that close. Nice sharp point. Good enough. It'll make a good divot in the aluminum now. Alright, well here's a nice view of the fuel cell. We're going to go ahead and center punch these. See how well this does. Aluminum's nice and soft, so. There, okay, so we've marked that. Now, before we can send our little 1/4 tap into each of these holes, we got to drill them. And I did a test in another piece of metal just to make sure that this was the right size bit, that it wasn't too big, because we don't want a sloppy hole. We want a good tight one. So it worked. I know a 1/4 fastener goes right in here with that, so let's make some holes. Alright, here we go. And of course, when we're all done, we'll get the shavings and stuff out of here. You know, I'm not going to leave them in there. Let's tap a couple of those and just see how that works. Alright, first one. You tap the steel. Super easy. But in some places, this is 2 layers thick because we had to put there was a round hole here and we needed a square hole, so we had a piece of aluminum on top. It's aluminum though, so I think we'll get through it. So they don't even know it. Alright, so my fastener right here, this cute little guy is a 1/4. I don't know if it's exactly the 1/4 fastener I'm going to use, but it is one. Oh yeah, that's going to hold nicely. Yep. Alright, we're going to do that a whole bunch more times. Let's drill some more holes. That's all the holes drilled. Nice little aluminum shavings. They'll cut you too. You got to be careful around them. So now it's time to tap. Pretty simple. You just turn it, and then every once in a while you kind of work it back, and then go forward again. Those flutes fill up. I think that's what you call them, flutes. Then all of a sudden it gets real easy, and you know you've got it there. Yep. And yes, I could put this in a drill, but I'm not going to, because drills are a good way to break a tap. And then you have a bad day, like a really sad day. And I don't like those days. Alrighty. Alrighty. Here we go. You know what? I think I'll pause you because this is repetitive. Alright, one more challenge to overcome, and that's the fact that the holes in the flange here are just smaller than a 1/4-20 can go through. Just won't fit. So I'm going to just go ahead and hit each one of these with a step bit, one step, and then that should be adequate. Yep, one step with the step bit equals a good enough fit. Alright, so we did learn that this rubber gasket shrunk when it got cold, but it's a good enough shape for me to at least get started using.
The next day.
Well, good evening, y'all. You can tell out the window there it's dark, so it's nighttime, and it's cold outside. I guess it's that time of year and we should just expect it. But just the other day I was in here breaking a sweat, a hard sweat. Or sweat, I don't think it can be hard, it's liquid. Whatever. I'm not sure where we left off before or how Savannah's going to put this series of videos together, but we're still working on the fuel cell. So I think I'm to the point now where we've got a gasket made, got the flange, the holes opened up, and it's time to assemble this thing. So I'm going to take you along on that journey, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to first just get this old gasket out the way. Alright, here goes. Here goes. Let's get the pump in there. The other question is, this pump worked when we took it out, but that was 9 months ago. So maybe it still works. Not 100% sure on that. Alright, so we made this longer. Well, you still can't really see that, can you? There, that's about as low as I can go. Slide you back. Jiggle, jiggle. Great photography. Cinematography, whatever. So we made this as low as it can go now on that bracket, which got us pretty close to the bottom of the tank, so we're going to live with that. So now we need to cut us a piece of hose to go between here and here, and that'll hold it together. So let's be real precise about this and just hold up a piece of hose and use our Sharpie. So I'm going to say I want to go from where the pipe is shiny up here where the old one was to about right there where that one was. We'll go with that. So this is a fuel line that's rated for fuel injection, so for high pressures and all that good stuff. So it should never explode into a huge, massive fireball. Oh, it looks nice. Alright, let's see if we can get it on clamps. Clamps are always good. We should have clamps, right? So how do we want to position our clamp so that it doesn't end up in the way? I think we'll just like that. That's how that one's going. Alright. Let's see how well it just slides on there. Oh, come on. It's going. Yep, I used a strong hand, so I got another clamp to go on the top here. I think we'll orient it just the opposite. the other one. We'll slide her down out of the way. And then we're going to work that up on there. Probably should have or could have put some WD-40 on there, lubed her up. Oh, there it went. Satisfying when it just goes. Okay, so now we got to wrestle it in here. Well, that's just not cooperating. Got to pull it back down. Okay. So we can see it's not sitting. There's little rubber nubs that are supposed to sit right up in there, and I got to get them sitting up in there, otherwise it's going to jiggle in the tank and cause us grief. That feels nice, and see how they're resting in there, so now it shouldn't fall out. Okay, so we can tighten up these here clamps. Righty tighty. And round and round. Okay, looky there, that's tight. And then this one doesn't even want to slide up. I'm going to have to make it a little bigger. I know this is exciting stuff. If you're watching this, thank you. That's nice. If you're not, then you don't even know. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that looks good. That looks real good. I think we can tighten that up a little more. It was a 10 millimeter metric drawer. Nice to have them. Do I have a 10 millimeter? Yes, I do. It's definitely a 10. Oh, I think I already got that tight. It's just, yeah, it's a little tighter. All right. That's good. That's good. So back to putting the wires on. So the tank or the pump is grounded on the sending unit, and then the sending unit has a ground wire. I'm assuming it's the black one. You never know. Chrysler might have made the orange one or the whatever color that is, brown. Chrysler was weird that way. What was I doing? I was hooking up wires. Wow, distracted. I was. And you can't even see what I'm doing because I got this turned that way. Alright, that's hooked up, and then we'll get the negative. I had to bend it the last time. Let's see if I can be more finger finesse and not have to bend it. I'm going to have to bend it. There, now we reach. Woo! Sorry there, blue Sharpie. Knocked you all around. We'll stand it back up. Okay. Alright. So the only thing left on here is to put the float level back on and then drop this in the tank and see if it's all going to work out for us. I really want it to, because I'd love to be able to use the sending unit still for the fuel level part. That'd be cool. So it just snaps together. It's just 20-plus-year-old plastic, so you want to be careful that you don't. Yep, goes up, it goes down, then the gauge will move. So. Alright, this will be the last time I stick you inside my fuel cell, I think, because I think this is all going to work smashing. Here we go. How does that look? It looks like the float's going to miss the wall. Yeah, this is going to be great. Next step, see if we can get it mounted in the back of the Jeep.